now I would like to move more to the east, and I have the pleasure to invite Professor Galal Osman from Egypt. Galal, you are with us, and you have promised not only to present the current situation in your home country in Egypt, but the whole MENA region. So we had agreed before that West North African countries will be covered by Khalid, and now the rest of the MENA region will be presented by you, Galal. The floor is yours.
Thanks, Stefan. It's a pleasure to welcome all the audience of our seminar of today. My friend Khaled spoke about the Maghreb countries. I am going to talk about the MENA country on the Mashriq. Next, please. My talk will be talking about some countries on the Gulf and some countries in Africa. In Africa, we have Egypt, and in the Gulf, the main oil players will show up like Saudi Arabia, Emirates, Oman, and Bahrain, plus Jordan. MENA countries is, to brief, they are 19 countries. Khaled spoke about 5 countries in Maghreb, and I am going to touch the other 14 countries. 60% of the world oil reserves are in this region. So we are fighting with renewable, with the oil, with the world oil reserves. And 45% are natural gas reserves. The plans has showed that this region would like to generate 80 gigawatt of combined renewable energy by 2030. The countries I am touch are from are Egypt, Lebanon, Jordan, Saudi Arabia, Palestine, Syria, Iraq, Oman, UAE, United Arab Emirates, Yemen, Bahrain, Sudan, Kuwait, and Djibouti. So this is the plan by IRENA for MENA resources. Maghreb has been touched by my brother and friend Khalid bin Hamou for Algeria, Tunisia, Mauritania, and Morocco. Now the present situation is 6 gigawatt in this region, and we don't forget that this is oil countries and with a strong solar radiation and with shortage of water and importing for their food. So this is the priority for this region. Africa and Middle East, about 1 giga of wind capacity. Market expected to grow by 10.7 giga installed till 2024, an increase of 167% from the current market situation. Next. The quick development expected to be spurred. The pioneers in the continent is Morocco, and then Saudi Arabia is coming with 1.8 giga installations in Egypt and 3.3 gigawatt installation in South Africa, which is another champion on the south and the continent, where I consider Africa has the champions on the west, Morocco, and in the south by South Africa, not only in wind, but in solar applications. Next. Let us have an analysis for, as per 2019, country in the region wind power capacity shows that what are the plans according to statistics. Egypt is going to generate 262 megawatt, Morocco 216, Jordan 190 megawatt, and then Ethiopia was 120 megawatt. This is the breakdown. Egypt energy mix have different items. Our friends in Uganda spoke about hydro and geothermal. Situation in Egypt also, we have the Nile, and then we have hydro and wind and PV, and the plans to go for CSCP. We have abundance of longer solar radiation, plus desert, and shortage again of water and food. Plus shortage of water is going to make desalination. What is the landscape of wind planned in Egypt 2023? Now there is no more also on the Gulf of Suez or Jabal Zayt. There is also planned to be western side of the River Nile, like the lowest two, West Nile 1 and West Nile. And the other wind farms will be in Jabal Zayt, where are the wind mines, and the Gulf of Suez. And this is on the western side of the Mediterranean. On the eastern side, you find the Saudi Arabia wind farms. The plans is about 200, 2050, 200, 2000 mega is expected under development, EPC by Siemens. And then we have the consortium who is being get a Vestas plan, and this is Japan, JICA, and EPC, Italgen, and then Spain, and then BOO, and other companies. So there are different players on the region. The last contract has been installed 262.5 megawatt wind energy farm in Ras Gharib. This wind energy, to Eros Energy Holding and Orascom Construction in Ras Gharib on the Gulf of Suez. This one of the last wind farm. And then RIA, and with an Italian, French, Chilean. So you find that the investors having European and the South American alliance, and this is led by the Danish turbine makers, Vestas, have signed an agreement to realize 250 megawatt wind project in the Gulf of Suez, and Egypt to connect and build this wind farm within 35 months. Now we go to the Gulf, Oman, where it is an oil country. They have a plan, $1.1 billion wind power projects planned in Oman. First utility scale wind power project, where the scale capacity of 300 megawatt, expected to come by 2023, according to Oman Power and Water Procurement Company. And the companies are always busy with electricity and water, and even the ministry. This is not in many other utilities. Utilities here have combination of water and electricity. Dhofar wind farm, 50 megawatt by GE, renewables by project, 3.8 mega wind turbine, one of the largest size in the region, while TSK is responsible for remainder of the wind farm infrastructure and the electrical transmission facilities connecting the plant to the grid. This is another 50 megawatt in Oman, where oil countries now they are shifting to renewable. And in spite of the drop of oil prices and the terrible air conditioning loads and shortage of water, they are now moving to renewable. And when I mean renewable, I mean both solar and wind. There is a plan also in the Gulf of Oman to go for offshore wind energy option in beckon of Oman, harnessing offshore wind via the installation of wind turbines for offshore, highlighted in by ocean economy, and they are considering to go by the first Arab offshore wind farm. In this was planned by the Omani government of the late Sultan Qaboos. Next. Now we go to the oil company Saudi Arabia, and of course after COVID-19, there was no Hajj to Mecca, and there are no tourists coming to the Red Sea and so on. There is already measures to slow the economy in the region, in addition to the drop of oil prices. But according to the Middle East Wind Power Market Report, developers will build 6.2 gigawatt of wind capacity, or 46% of the region total wind capacity addition between 19 and 28. And as per the last webinar, capacity building is started with 20 or 30 research centers. So they are working in parallel with the plan to have wind farms in the region. Next. This is a project with ADF and Masdar from Emirates, Dumat Al Jandal Wind Project. Consortium has been awarded $500 million power project in Saudi Arabia, and this is a 400 megawatt wind farm. The Saudi capital is in the middle, and then there are plans for Al Ghof wind farm. And this is very strange on the oil reserves and natural gas reserves. Now they are shifting to solar PV and CSB plus wind farms. So this is the first wind farm and will be located 150 miles from Riyadh. Next. Then we come to Jordan with shortage of energy and water, and Palestine nearby. This is ranked the third after Egypt and Morocco in MENA region. The pioneer might be Morocco, and then following Egypt, and then Jordan is the third for energy production. This is Tafila wind farm, and I visited Tafila wind farm shortly with Triple M Company and Tafila University, and they are working to develop 51.57 megawatt wind power project. And the Egyptian construction company like 3M are working in this side, located 140 kilometers southwest of Amman. So they are making use of the manpower of wind industry in the region. This near Aqaba. And then back to Emirates, one also of the richest countries and oil producing companies in Dubai and Abu Dhabi. There is an island called Serbaniyas wind farm project. Construction of wind farm to be located on the island of Serbaniyas, a small remote island belonging to the Emirates of Abu Dhabi. Total installed capacity will be 28.8 megawatt, 16 wind turbines, with each of them having 1.8 megawatt. So when the industry is also entering UAE in the island of Serbaniyas. Next. We know the Emirates, there are 7 Emirates. We go to another Emirate, Al Fujairah. Renewable energy project includes setting up 4 wind farms on the north of Fujairah and another one in Masafi, one of the Fujairah city, and the last one in the south of Emirates. A Spanish company expects that Fujairah generate 130 to 200 megawatts of electricity per year with the wind farm. Each have around 5 towers that will generate more than 50 megawatt. And then another oil company, Bahrain, this is called, all of them is a council of Gulf states. So they are getting one after one to play with renewable energy. So Bahrain having first one is PV for 120 mega, and then CSP, and then photovoltaic rooftop, and then follows with wind energy, and at the end, biomass and waste. So this is an energy mix for Bahrain. Plus, they are planning to get for hybrid power plant, hybrid wind and solar by, again, electricity and water authority. They go hand in hand. 12 hectares in southern of Bahrain, 17 million Bahraini dollar, and the plant is a small one, but 3 megawatts of solar and 2 megawatts of wind energy. So they are trying to play with the hybridization of power plants, wind plus solar together. This is for Bahrain, and this is my reference. And I thank you for the tour with me around the Arabian Gulf and north of Africa. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Galal. That was a very broad presentation and really showing us what is happening in the region. And I think it is really encouraging to see that now all the states, all the governments, even of the oil-rich countries, are now looking into wind energy to invest. Although, of course, some of those targets are still quite modest, but anyway, just 5-10 years ago, that would have been, nobody would have spoken about that. And in particular, seeing like how Saudi Arabia is really looking into wind and solar on a very, very large scale. Galal, just a brief question. I know that you're personally affected by the corona pandemic situation. And of course, it's impossible to answer that related to all the countries that you brought up. But how would you see the impact of the pandemic on wind development in the region?
COVID-19 pandemic is having the effect of economical effect and losing of jobs, because many tourist places has been empty. Plus, many of the workers who are producing petrodollar in the Gulf are also has been lost their jobs. So COVID-19 is offering hard time to the region for the jobs and for industry. And all our students, millions, are in home using online learning. So it is a strange effect is happening, and we are looking to recover so that the economy can run again and the people can get jobs, because I have seen many families has been terribly hit by COVID-19. Thank you.
Yeah, so thank you. So you would rather see a very broad impact on the societies.
Yeah.
In the region.
Paralysis.
Yeah. Okay, well, thank you for that insight.